Hello, and welcome to this edition of Cope's Campus. We have an exciting week going for you, weekend going for you. Big slate in college football. Also talk about the WNBA Finals, as well as get the NFL from Thursday night game and this weekend. But first, an RIP shout out to Sister Jean, the beloved chaplain for Loyola Chicago. She passed away yesterday at 106. She became one of the most famous sisters, even higher up than Sister Mary Clarence from Sister Act. She, I believe, was an integral part of that magical 2018 run that they had. So I just wanted to show my respects on Cope's campus to the Loyola Chicago campus. RIP, Sister Jean. Okay, now to get to this week's college games that I'm going to be looking forward to see. And I haven't talked about this team since the first week of Coach Campus because they run business. But it's the Ohio State Buckeyes going to the number one ranked Ohio State Buckeyes going to Champaign to take on the 17th ranked Illinois Fighting Illini. This game's a high nooner, so I'll be watching. I'll be watching closely. Ohio State is a 16.5-point favorite, led by their quarterback Julian Sand, 1,300 yards. In 5 games. Bo Jackson, the runner, 360 yards. And then their All-American, Jeremiah Bullfrog Smith, going in the house of Luke Altmaier, 1,573 yards in 6 games. Lil Valentine, 323 yards. And Hank Beatty with 569 yards. My analysis on this game, Ohio State's just too big in the trenches. They're too big everywhere. This is the reason I only bring them up every once in a while whenever they play someone that's ranked. Ohio State is who Ohio State is. They're the cream of the crop of the Blue Bloods right now. Julian Sand, Jeremiah Bullfrog Smith, Bo Jackson, they have weapons everywhere. Offense, Caleb Downs on defense with the rest of that defense. Don't think it's going to be close at the end. Luke Altmaier, I think, will try to give it its best shot in the first half, but I can see it getting ugly in the second half. Defense travels. Wherever you go, defense travels. I have Ohio State big. Next game I'm going to get into is the number 8 ranked Alabama Crimson Tide going to the number 14th ranked Missouri Tigers. This is going to be an SEC showdown at high noon. My lazy eye, my straight eye going to be all over watching all these games at once. You got Ty Simpson, the quarterback for Alabama, coming in there, 13 touchdowns, 1 interception. Bernard, the wide receiver, 25 receptions. 5th of those receptions, which is 5 TDs. On the other hand, Missouri, Purbulla, transfer from Penn State. I bet you they wish they had him out there now. 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Hardy running hard at 730 yards and 9 touchdowns. Alabama's a 5-point favorite in this one. But I got news for you today. I'm picking the Missouri Tigers to win outright. At home, high noon, in the Show Me State. Because Alabama got to show me that they're real. Yeah, they beat Georgia and they beat them good. But I got to see the consistency. And they still got to play my boys, too, on the way them balls. But that's later on. I have Missouri winning this game on a late field goal. Mizzou up. Next up, I think is the most exciting game of the day. You have the number 7th ranked Indiana Hoosiers, 5-0, going into number 3 ranked Oregon Ducks, 5-0 in Eugene. Both 2-0 in the Big Ten. This is going to be another Big Ten matchup. Oregon is favored by 7.5. Indiana has that QB, Mendoza, throwing for over 1,200 yards, 16 touchdowns, 1 interception. Wide receiver, Surratt, 412 yards, 6 touchdowns. Oregon also has the quarterback Moore, man. He's been doing wonders. You saw what he did at Penn State in that whiteout. 14 touchdowns, 1 interception. They got my man Dier Hill Jr. I got a best friend named Dier, too. But his name is Wayne Jenkins. 270 yards, 2 touchdowns. Wide receiver, the other Moore, has 296 yards, 2 touchdowns. I've been torn on this game. Not on the winner. I've been torn if it is going to be close or if it's going to be a blowout. As much as I love Indiana and Kirk Cignetti and the boys and that high-powered offense with that good defense, This is not Champaign. This is not Illinois. Dan Lanning and the Oregon Ducks are going to give you all that you want and more. They're battle tested too. They went into the confines of Penn State and got the W. So with that being said, I think the Oregon Ducks and that big defensive line who was embarrassed in the fourth quarter at Penn State is going to come out, try to shut down Kirk Cignetti's offense. I don't think they're going to shut him down, but I don't think that they're going to put up the points to keep up with Oregon. I got Oregon by 10 or more. Book it. Now, to the rivalry is almost as old as time, a.k.a. the Red River rivalry. The number 6 ranked Oklahoma Sooners, 5-0, going to Texas. Must be fair time down there, having it at the big fair against Texas Longhorns, 3-2, who are very disappointing. Lost to Florida at Florida last week. Texas is actually favored in this game by -2.5. The reason I believe they're favored by 2.5 is because before he got hurt, my Heisman hopeful, John Mateer, who has 6 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, but he also has several rushing touchdowns, got hurt, and he's coming back off of surgery. Let's talk about it. Texas, Steve Sarkisian, Arch Manning, has been up and down so far. Texas went from being ranked number 1 in the nation, not even ranked at all. Yikes! Yikes! Arch Manning, he's not playing like his grandfather Archie. He's definitely not playing like his Uncle Peyton or even his Uncle Eli. He must be playing like his dad. But what I can say is I have seen some good out of Arch. I've also seen a lot of bad out of Arch. That Texas offensive line against Florida last week looked hideous. Didn't give my man time, and then when he did get time, he was tap dancing better than the late great Gregory Hines in that pocket. Does Texas bounce back? Can this turn their season around to try to squeak them into the playoffs? If they run off some wins after this? John Mateer, how healthy is he? Will he play? They said he's going to play. This is probably the toughest game for me to call because I don't know the real health status of John Mateer. If Texas is going to win, this has to be a coming out party for Arch Manning. And I said this a couple times before. But if it ain't now, it's going to be never this season. Never this season. With that being said, I'm going with Oklahoma. I'm going with John Mateer. If he's 85%, I think Oklahoma beats him down, mainly because of that defense. I tell you about Brent Venables all the time. He's a man of defense. I got Oklahoma in a close one in the Red River round. Last game of the night that I'll be watching is going to be the number 15 Michigan Wolverines going to the Coliseum, go face the USC Trojans, who are 4-1. It's going to be a good game. USC's favored by 1.5. Bryce Underwood, true freshman, 1,003 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. My man, Justice Haynes, 654 yards, 8 touchdowns. That's Veron Haynes' son. But just in case y'all don't know, Veron Haynes played for my Pittsburgh Steelers back in the day. So I know he can tote that rock. USC quarterback Mayava, 11 touchdowns, 1 interception. Wayman Jordan, 77 carries, 5 touchdowns. And you know Malachi Lemon, 5 TDs himself, 189 yards. I know my boy Jeffrey. He's not gonna be happy with my pick. But I'm going with USC in the Coliseum. I think that offense is too high powered right now for USC. It would definitely have to be a ball control offense from Michigan to win this one. I just don't see Michigan putting up the points to keep up with USC. I'm going USC. On to the WNBA Finals, where the Las Vegas Aces are up 3-0 on the Phoenix Mercury. 2 of the games have been contested, the first and the third game. The third game was a barn burner at the end. Mercury down 17. They showed that they're what they were made of. Got it all the way back to even. Satu Sabali, before she went out with a concussion, was holding them in the game. They were down by 10 with 4 minutes left. But then Kalia Copper did the microwave on it, the Vinnie Microwave Johnson, and got the next 11 points. Bang, 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 just like that to get them back in. But we know the story of this game. Asia Wilson, 34 points, 14 rebounds. The game-winning shot with under a second left. Your MVP, your co-defensive player of the year, even though she should have won defensive player of the year by itself, came through. Jackie Young putting up 20. Dana Evans coming in playing some ball. It was a great game. Game 4 is the night. They're without Satu Sabali. She's out with a concussion. Las Vegas Aces are favored by 2.5. I think Asia and Chelsea, I think they shut it down tonight so they can go home, sweep them. And a close sweep. Got the Aces tonight. the outside too. On a Thursday night football, where the Philadelphia Eagles got embarrassed by the New York Giants, 30-17. Jackson Dart, 195 yards passing, 1 touchdown. My man Cam Scatterbo, 19 carries, 98 yards, 3 touchdowns. Jackson Dart scrambled for 58 yards and a nice touchdown to start the night off. Wandale Robinson, 6 catches, 84 yards, 1 touchdown. Eagles. Jalen Hurts went 24 for 33, 283 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. His first interception in 305 passing attempts. Saquon, 12 carries, 58 yards. He had 54 of them yards at halftime. So he had 4 yards in the second half. Dallas Goedert, 9 catches, 110 yards in the touchdown. A.J. Brown, 6 for 80. Devontae, 4 for 49. Giants look good tonight. They look very good. If they can get that effort, because that defense is good. That Giants defense is good. If they can get that effort on offense from that rookie, they have something for the future. Maybe not for this year, but they'll set the groundwork, but they have something. Eagles, they're 4-2, 2-1. Something ain't right. As my daddy would say, something's rotten in Denmark. That offense didn't look good at all. Defense didn't look good. I know Jalen Carter wasn't in, secondary suspect. Something got to do with that offense. Doesn't look in sync. Offensive line looks weak. People hate the tush push, but I loved it. 4 in a row. 4 times in a row, I loved it. Eagles need to pick it up. Let me give you a side note from this game. This goes out to Brian Daboll. What you did to that fresh examiner on the sideline is embarrassing. It is ridiculous. He's doing his job. See, that's why they have him doing what he does and let you do what you do. He doesn't yell at you whenever you make bonehead play calls. He doesn't yell at you whenever you go for it when you shouldn't go for it. You have a rookie QB who you can see in the replay was holding his head. And because Russell had a horrible pass, don't get me wrong, you want to flip out on the examiner? See, what I was taught is that your character shows whenever you're down and out and you're tested. They all know your job's on the line. We all know it. But for you to act like that to get Jackson Dart back in it, you're not worried about the player. You're worried about the game, and you're worried about the win. Y'all had that game won. Russell doesn't throw an interception. You had the game won because that defense was on fire. Lets me know about your character, fella. Your football character. You don't care about the players. You care about your job more. Jackson Dart shouldn't have came back in that game. I believe he had head problems, and then he got hit when he came back in. I was like, "Ooh, I hope he's okay." I'm glad he's going to get a little mini bye. Do better, Dayball. On to the first game on Sunday, a rivalry game. The Cleveland Brownies coming here to Pittsburgh to take on my Pittsburgh Steelers, the division-leading Pittsburgh Steelers. Spread was 5.5. Now it's down to 4.5. I usually don't talk about games like this, but I'm a Pittsburgh homer, so I'm going to talk about this game. I got a lot of friends from Cleveland. My best friend's brother is a trainer for Cleveland, but I don't get no inside scoop. They're starting a rookie QB, Dylan Gabriel, second start. I'm nervous about this game. Because as I told you before about when y'all count the Steelers out, I count Tomlin in. This is a game. It's a trap game for us. I know the Browns are coming from London, and then they have to come to Pittsburgh, which I think is totally unfair to make a team travel back from London and then have to play that next week. Even though it's a close 2-hour drive, whatever, you had to travel across the pond, man. But with that being said, Steelers in prior years had to play 3 games in 11 days. I think it's going to be a close game because, as I said before, defense travels. Myles Garrett in the last 2.5 years have shown up. TJ Watt. I used to say TJ Watt was the best defensive player in the NFL, but the last few years, Myles Garrett says, no, I am. This game's going to be close. I think it's going to be a Boswell game. We know how those kickers do, but I'm not worried about Boz. He's the best in the business. Steelers win this game. Close game. I'll be down there on campus to watch it with my good eye. I'm waiting to see this game. Seattle Seahawks go down to Florida, take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Seattle 3-2, 2-0 in the division. Jacksonville 4-1, 3-0 in the division. Jacksonville coming off that beautiful Monday night comeback win where Sunshine, a.k.a. Trevor Lawrence, stumbled, got up, and got the game-winning touchdown. I'm not going to talk about the defense on that play, especially the defensive player. I'll get to him during his game coming up. Running hell-bent for leather. Brian Thomas had a beautiful catch by a beautiful ball by Lawrence to get them down in their side of the field. Sam Darnold's traveling from Washington to Florida with Kenny Walker III. and Jackson Smith and Jigba, who is dynamite, Seattle Seahawks offensive coordinator. I got a question for you. Why aren't you running Kenny Walker the third more? The guy's lights out when he's healthy, and he's been healthy this year. I know you're trying to give Charbonnet some catches because he's nice. I mean, some run because he's nice. He is. But he's not Kenny Walker the third nice. And I think this is going to be a game when you're going to need a little bit more dosage of Kenny Walker the third. I know Sam Darnold's been slinging that rock. 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. I know he has been. But you're going to need a little bit more Kenny Walker. But I do have Washington winning this game. I have them going into Duval County and getting the upset, even though they're a 1.5 underdog. Next game, we're going to be talking about San Francisco 49ers, 4-1, 3-0 division. We're going to be playing that matinee, the Tampa Bay Bucks, 4-1, 1-1 in the division. It's Baker Mayfield. What can I say about Baker? 10 touchdowns, 1 interception for almost 1,300 yards. The Mecca of Buka, with Chris Godwin just getting his feet wet coming back, and with Mike Evans hurt, he has 445 receiving yards for 5 touchdowns. He's out there playing ball. The return of the Mac Jones. He's 3-0. 6 touchdowns, 1 interception. McCaffrey, 282 yards rushing, but he has 387 yards receiving on 39 carries and 3 touchdowns. I went back and forth with this game. The Buccaneers are favored by 2.5 at home. I think the Buccaneers stay hot. Baker Mayfield, early MVP ballot. Baker, can't you see? Sometimes your TDs just hypnotize me. Baker, you got that fight back like you was back in Oklahoma. You got that swagger back, but now it's a mature swagger. And then when you get all your weapons back, watch out. Holy moly. You're my pick to win the NFC West, but I think Mac's going to get his first loss down there in Raymond James Stadium when the game starts at 4:25. On to Sunday Night Football. Man, I'm salivating to watch this game. Detroit Lions going into Kansas City 2-3, 1-1. Kansas City coming off of that. They had a 14-point lead and let Jacksonville come back. Patty Mahomes threw a pick 6 when it was tied up 14-14, and that just changed everything. Kansas City favored by 1.5 at home. Patty, the last 3.5 games, he's been cooking with Crisco, man. He's throwing the ball around. 8 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, but he's leading the team in rushing 190 yards. Pacheco, Hunt, y'all got to do something, man. You got that Speedy Thornton out there with Xavier Worthy. Defense gave up some points last week. But let me talk about the person that I want to talk about most on defense. Chris Jones. You got your money last year. You held out, got your money. This is 2 times I've seen you in this year. Just give up on the play. They can make excuses for you, whatever it is. There's no excuse that, I thought he was down. You got to make sure you see he's down. With your good eye. You got to make sure you see he's down. Now, you may not have been able to stop Trevor Lawrence from getting in, but the effort got to be there, especially for the money you're making. Do better. This game has me torn because I have a soft spot for the Detroit Lions. Kansas City, got family out there. Every time I go against Mahomes, he loses every time. And I tell you, I don't like going against him. But every time this past year, every time I say he's going to win, he's lost. So when it comes to Kansas City games, I've been inconsistent. With that being said, I'm taking the Lions. You know why I'm taking the Lions? I'm taking the Lions because of Jared Goff. 12 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 1,187 yards. Jahmyr Gibbs, 325 yards, 4 touchdowns. And my man, Amon-Ra St. Brown, 407 yards, 6 touchdowns, 35 receptions. And that defense, Aiden Hutchinson with 5 sacks. Campbell, 48 tackles. I believe it's going to be a barn burner. 2 beautiful offenses out there, 2 higher defenses. But I love to see the offensive flow of the Lions. It's like poetry in motion. Poetry in motion. Kansas City's getting there. I think it's going to be another close game. I wouldn't be surprised if Patty and them win. But I'm going with the Lions. I got to go with consistency. Lions by field goal. The last game I'm going to cover on Cope's campus is a rematch of last year. Chicago Bears 2-2 going to Chocolate City. Face those Washington Commanders who's 3-2 in the division. If y'all recall, the Bears had this one last year until the Hail Mary came with Jaden Daniels. And that dude, Tyreek Stevenson, out there thinking he won, looking at the crowd. My buddy was there. He was a Bears fan. My buddy was there. Senior was there. Man, I love to see his face whenever that happened because, he was talking all that trash. This is the battle of the QBs. These QBs will be linked to each other because they were 1 and 2 in the draft coming out. Same draft. Caleb Williams versus Jaden Daniels. Caleb Williams, 927 yards, 8 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Got Ben Johnson. Started off slow. Jaden Daniels got hurt, missed a couple games, 664 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. Swift, 187 yards, 2 touchdowns. Roma Dunze, 296 yards, 5 touchdowns in 4 games. Man, beautiful. Bill Krosky Merritt, 283 yards rushing for the Commanders. Debo Samuel, 300 yards, receiving three touchdowns. Commanders are favored by 4.5. I have the Commanders winning in Landover, Maryland, a.k.a. right outside Chocolate City. I think Jaden Daniels at this point in time is a better quarterback. Also think that he has a better offense, fully functional offense, because I don't believe in Caleb Williams just yet. I think he needs a little bit more time with Ben Johnson because he sees ghosts sometimes in the pocket, but he also makes some crazy decisions at times. I'm like, what are you doing half the time? Throw the ball away. Don't take the sack. Throw the ball away. Don't run out of bounds. I have the Washington Redskins win this game, and I can't wait to watch it on Monday night. That's all for this episode of Coach Campus. Stay tuned.
Daydream.